What plots are being hatched in Bangladesh? क्या पक रहा है बांग्लादेश में? Some people just cannot see the writing on the wall. Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel Prize laureate, the economist, the father of the Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. He had been parachuted into Dhaka from Washington, straight from Washington, to rule the country after the CIA, with the help of the ISI and the Jamaat-e-Islami, had orchestrated a colored revolution in the streets of Dhaka. They had overthrown the legitimately elected government of Bangladesh. In technical terms, Hasina Wajed is still the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. She had put in a resignation, but she is supposed to stay in situ till alternative arrangements are made in a constitutional framework. I am afraid a colored revolution, a street revolution with orchestrated mobs paid for by the ISI, brought together by the ISI and the Jamaat-e-Islami to overthrow a legally constituted government, duly elected government, is illegal. Muhammad Yunus cannot read the writing on the wall. The problem is, he has been overtaken by events. He was very smug, very happy. He has the backing of the mighty American state. They have parachuted him there. And why did they parachute him into Dhaka? Because he was a darling of the Democrats. He had given Hillary Clinton, almost $1 million. Somebody was saying $650,000, which he had robbed from the Grameen Bank. I mean, this is utterly horrible. You rob the poor fishermen and farmers of Bangladesh and you loot their money and you pay $1 million bribe or $1 million, donation to Hillary Clinton's campaign to win against Donald Trump. Now, for your information, Mr. Yunus, Donald Trump is the President of the United States. Joe Biden, who had begun to hate India and who had used you as a pawn to destabilize India in South Asia by overthrowing the legally elected government of Hasina Wajed, who had parachuted you as a Trojan horse, as a wild card to go and take charge in Bangladesh. You are now sans any support from the United States. Donald Trump dislikes people who give campaign donations against him to defeat him in presidential campaign. He has a long memory, a sharp memory, right? And he doesn't like Muhammad Yunus one bit. There has been a paradigm shift in Washington. It doesn't seem to have gotten down to the thick head of this octogenarian who's taken charge in Bangladesh, right? The simple fact is that this man lacks any legitimacy whatsoever. People had thought that now that he is an economist, he is an educated, well-educated person, hopefully winner of the Nobel Prize for what, I don't know. But the simple fact is that he came in and he presided over chaos and anarchy unleashed in the streets of Dhaka and in all major cities of Bangladesh. Anarchy. It was very thrilling for the students, the upstarts, to feel that they had such power, they could kick the Prime Minister out and burn down the house of the Home Minister, arrest the Foreign Minister, go and dethrone the Chief Justice, install whomsoever they wanted. I mean, a great democracy. I mean, where is the rule of law? Where is law and order? And there was chaos unleashed on the streets. There were murders, lynching mobs out baying for blood. You could go and rape any Hindu woman, burn any temple, enter any house, loot, take away the property, carry away the women, and unleash mayhem and chaos on an unprecedented scale. Initially, people thought it would last a month or two and then things would die down and, things would get back to normal. No, sir. It is a continuing revolution. They don't want the chaos to end. They got after the Bangladeshi police And in, the harassed police said, we will do nothing. We will now not obey any orders. You ordered us to shoot, lathi charge, we did that, and now you are gunning for us. You are sort of going against us. So they said, we will not do anything. The army was the last bastion of law and order. In September last year, Muhammad Yunus gave them magisterial powers so that they could arrest people and hold law and order, because the police had become defunct, dysfunctional. The last thing holding that country together now is the army of Bangladesh. This is where the ISI, famous for coup making, now decided to intervene. They wanted to overthrow the Bangladesh army chief, Wakar Zaman. The propaganda spread against him was that he was related distantly to Hasina Wajid, that he was pro-Indian, and that they must get rid of him. The ISI wanted a coup to be staged by one Lieutenant General who was the commandant of the Bangladesh National Defence College, a Qattar, Islamist, hardcore Islamist, who they felt would serve their purpose admirably in trying to, re-jihadize Bangladesh, turn it back, turn the clock back, and make Bangladesh East Pakistan once again. The ISI chief came like a lord, very surreptitiously, and he came to see that, all the people who had been arrested, the insurgents, the Chetiyas and the rest of them from the Alpha, etc., they were released. And he wanted to set the stage so that, terrorist movements and insurgency movements could be relaunched from the soil of Bangladesh to harass India in the northeast. Then, the Bangladeshis got the fear of God when they were told that if you go beyond a point, India has been going out of the way to befriend Bangladesh, help Bangladesh, and in the time of Hasina Wajid, they had gone the extra mile to be friendly. They had not taken action against the smugglers and all the cattle smugglers and the lumpen elements on the borders, because we didn't want to spoil relations with Hasina Wajid's Bangladesh. But the fact of the matter is that these people have now, turned the country upside down, jihadized the country, and they are taking action against the minority community. From 22%, the Hindus have been brought down to just about 7.5%. If this is not ethnic cleansing, if this is not genocide, what else is? The statistics speak for themselves. And now these 7.5% are also at the tender mercy of the jihadi, maniacs who have been let loose on the streets of Bangladesh. People are being hung from bridges upside down. Their corpses are being hung on telephone poles and wires. You can rape anybody you like, you can rob anybody you like. It's a free-for-all, and it is not ending anytime soon. Even the Bangladesh army was very careful not to annoy the people. It's a people, they wanted to be a people-friendly army and all that. But at least, finally, even Muhammad Yunus felt it was too much. Now, the ISKCON priest, Mahant Chinmay Krishna Das, he was arrested. The lawyer who came for him was thrashed up, beaten up, and told not to represent him. Rule of law, if you please. Lynch mobs, lynch courts, and kangaroo courts. And they wanted Hasina Wajid back so that she could be put before not even a kangaroo court, just lynched. Lynched by these jihadi mobs baying for her blood. I mean, they robbed her house, they took away her saris, her blouses and petticoats with great trophies, I mean, it was utterly sickening to watch Bangladesh careening out of control. It was a country that had become more prosperous than Pakistan. Per capita GDP was higher than India's. They were doing so well, but they didn't want to do well. They preferred jihadi, anarchy and chaos. They want to go around with a begging bowl, emulate their Pakistani former colonial masters, go around the world with a begging bowl. And this is the time now the people have decided enough is enough. Tulsi Gabbard, the head of the Central Intelligence Agencies in the United States, a practicing Hindu, as the first to speak out against the persecution of Hindus and Buddhist and Christian minorities in Bangladesh. The RSS has now spoken out on that this persecution has gone far enough. Now we need to bring a halt to this. The world must be sensitized that Bangladesh cannot become an uncivilized bridgehead for the spread of jihadi, anarchy, chaos, violence and terrorism. You see, it cannot become another bridgehead for the export of terrorism all over the world, rebuilt in the image of its erstwhile masters, the ISI of Pakistan. It amazes me because I saw the freedom struggle in Bangladesh firsthand. We saw the Mukti Jodhas fight and lay down their lives to free their country from the colonial oppression of West Punjab. We saw what the Pakistani army had done to the people of Bangladesh, who are now complaining about what the police did. But I just want to remind them of very short memories. The Pakistani army raped 1 million women. They killed 3 million Bengalis. And they sent 10 million Bengalis streaming as refugees into India, kicked them out of their homeland, their country, their hearth and homes, and sent them off to refugee camps to rot in the refugee camps in India. India had no option but to hit back and create conditions for the refugees to go back, because the burden of maintaining so many refugees would have destroyed the Indian economy. We had no option. We did what we had to do. It was a just war. We went in only after Pakistan had launched air attacks on our airfields on the 3rd of December. Pakistan started the war, which led to the breakup of the country. The rest, as we all know, is history. Here are people trying to reinvent history, turn the clock back, make Bangladesh East Pakistan again, get the Razakars back, who were raping their own women, supplying women to the Pakistan army, Bengali women. Can you get lower than that? Can you pimp around the women, your own sisters and mothers, and sell them to the Pakistan army? They are the people trying to make a comeback in Bangladesh. Destroy the legacy of liberation. Destroy Bangladesh as an independent country. Make it a bridgehead for the export of jihad in northeast India, for the creation of a cookie land in the northeast, for letting the Rohingyas loose on the rest of the world. Art smugglers, human traffickers, drug peddlers, arms merchants. These are the Rohingyas they want to use as an instrument to destabilize and create chaos. Now, the simple fact is the Pakistani ISI tried to overthrow General Waqar Zaman, the chief of the Bangladesh army, right? Like I told you, they wanted to get the National Defence College commandant, a lieutenant general, a jihadi general to the core, to stage a coup and take charge of the Bangladesh army, right? India got wind of this coup and we tipped off the Bangladesh army chief, who acted swiftly, who put him under house arrest and removed him from his appointment, removed him from official charge, right? And he is now being kept under house arrest and under surveillance. So that defanged the Pakistani ISI coup. Pakistani military are past masters. Their biggest expertise is in creating coups against legally elected governments, right? So they were trying to do this coup in the Bangladesh army, which has not worked. Now we find that these student upstarts, these pesky students who had received tons of money from the CIA, from the ISI, they had gotten the support of the Jamaat-e-Islami. They had infiltrated every single student union in all the universities of Bangladesh, starting with Dhaka onwards down to the whole last little township. And they were feeling on top of the world that they were the king makers, they were the coup makers, and they were treating Muhammad Yunus as a dummy, as a figurehead, as a puppet of sorts, And these are the people who found, when that coup attempt failed, the coup attempt against the established hierarchy in the Bangladesh army, when it failed to take off, they decided to do own neat little coup. You know, there are especially the two major upstarts, which are, uh, Hasmat Abdullah and Mahfuz Alam. You know, they said that the army had spoken to them, cantonment had called them. This is the code word they use for the army, and they wanted to get the Awami League back in a sanitized avatar. The army said, we don't talk to chokra boys, right? And dismissed their allegations out of shape, out of hand. But these people then went on to try and orchestrate unrest in the Dhaka University campus. And the army chief of Bangladesh sensed exactly what was coming, right? He sensed exactly what was coming, and he brought in his units, especially the armored personnel carriers from all over the formations in Bangladesh, and he focused them in Dhaka, because these people were talking of, attacking the cantonment and overthrowing the army chief and taking charge. Attacking the cantonment. You see, the army has preempted them so far. They have brought in their units from all over Bangladesh. The army, please don't forget, is the last bastion of whatever remains of law and order in Bangladesh. The police have been neutered. They have become hors de combat. They have refused to even wield a lathi, let alone open fire at riotous mobs, indulging in arson, rape and murder. So the army is the last bastion of law and order in Bangladesh, and the students are now keen to unleash total, utter chaos and anarchy. I ask the people of Bangladesh, the law-abiding citizens of the middle class, educated people who want to educate their children, get on with their jobs, to think. Will you allow these clownish students to now destroy the last bastion of law and order in Bangladesh, the last hope that keeps Bangladesh from total anarchy and chaos? Total anarchy and rampant chaos. They are trying to now, bring the army into hatred. The army has told them, look, we have been given magisterial powers in September last year. We still have them. And if you try and bring the army into hatred, we may not do a Tainan men against you, but definitely we'll take care of such people who are violating the law by trying to bring the armed forces of the country into hatred, into disrepute. And they are fully justified if they take this action. We'll have to see, wait and watch how things unfold in Bangladesh. Things are hanging by a thread. Things are hanging by a thread. The army is the last hope for any type of law and order in Bangladesh. Between the abyss of anarchy and, total chaos, the last men standing are those who belong to the Bangladesh army. If that cohesion of that army is lost, it starts fighting itself and it breaks up into faction, that is the end of Bangladesh. And then people from outside will have to be forced to intervene. America is not happy. America wants to act against jihadi, Islamist, extremist organizations. They are throwing out people who are trying to incite violence in their universities, right? Tulsi Gabbard came here for a purpose. There was a meeting of intelligence chiefs here. Americans are reaching out to Taliban in Kabul, right? They're reaching out to the Taliban in Kabul. And they have taken the bounty of a number of Taliban leaders who are now thoroughly anti-Pakistan, right? They are not happy with the coup that has taken place in Bangladesh, right? Vice President Vance will also shortly be coming to India, along with his Indian wife of Indian origin. The National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, is also likely to come to India, and so is the Defense Secretary. Peter Hegseth is also likely to come to India. A whole lot of American high-profile visits are scheduled. If Muhammad Yunus had any modicum of even basic common sense, he can read the writing on the wall. He's trying to go to China and suck up to China and try and get money from China. I think the Chinese are far too smart to understand that this is a discarded American stooge who was recruited by the Democrats, by Biden, and the Bidens are out of power. But India may have to act fast to preempt, head off any such things, any such plans for him to take the support of China and try and survive. Even before he goes, I think something could happen in Bangladesh which may, bring about significant changes. We can only wait and watch and hope like hell for the good of the people of Bangladesh that anarchy and chaos, the country doesn't descend into sheer anarchy and chaos. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.